Well, hello again. I'm in kind of a better mood and very excited about this new job interview that I'm going to on tomorrow. God is good. Okay, so this story time that I'm going to give y'all now is about the relationship that I had with a 50-year-old man. Okay, so this dude, and I'm not going to say his name. This dude lived in my grandma apartments back in the day. He had been watching me. He had been trying to get with me. He actually took me out to eat one day at the Chinese restaurant. But yeah. I was around 28 at this time, but I had a little bit of a relationship going on with him, but I just really did not want anyone to know that I was having dealings with him. He was known as the male whore of the projects, because like every month he had a different girl who he was bringing to his apartment. Me, I was meant to be his secret, and he was meant to be my secret. Because of how young I was at the time, I just really didn't want nobody to know that I was like messing with him. I didn't, because number one, I was already kind of involved with someone, but the person who I was involved with, it really didn't matter that I was cheating on them, because the person who I was involved with was like putting his hands on me. It was a domestic violence relationship. So once I got a chance to get away from the person who I was in a relationship with, that is when I started the relationship with the 50-year-old dude at the time. And so I had only like been to his apartment maybe 3 times. And then the fact that he took me out to eat and everything. But after that, I kind of like slowly backed off. Like I fell all the way back from talking to him, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm young as hell, and I'm having sexual relations with this 50-year-old man. I feel like he should be like doing shit for me, giving me money to go shopping, paying my rent. He should be doing some of those things. But when I would talk to him about it and I would tell him that he should be doing those things, he was like, well, if you just become my woman, if you would just be with me out in the open where everybody can see it. But I wasn't about to let that happen, because number one, he wasn't my type. Number two, he was kind of ugly. Number three, I didn't want to be with him. He actually wanted to be with me. He wanted to be in a relationship with me. But yeah, he was a 50-year-old and trying to persuade me to like be with him. But I honestly, just had to let him know it's not happening. One day I was leaving work, and it was kind of like raining outside, and I saw him driving, and he offered me a ride. So I'm in the car with him, and you ever get the feeling you trapped in the car with somebody, and then they bring up a subject, a sensitive topic. They start talking to you about something that you really don't want to talk about, but you're in their car, and so you know. He was like, and at this time, keep in mind, at this time when he picked me up, when I left my job, and he picked me up and took me to, drove me to the transit center out of the rain. He was like, I've been blowing up your phone and blowing up your phone. Now, yeah, keep in mind that I was involved with my ex of 5 years while I'm in a car with him. He's telling me, he's like, why you been rejecting my calls? Why you never text or call me back? What's going on? And I look at him, I said, it's because I'm already in a relationship with someone, and that person saw your text message. He went in my phone and read me and your messages, and he confronted me about it, and we got into a heated argument about it, and he stayed mad at me for a whole month. That's why I have not answered back to you. That's why I never called you back. None of that, because at that point in time, you and I weren't speaking. We were pretty much done. He was like, well, you was done with me, but I wasn't done with you. You the one neglected me and stopped talking to me. I said, I did. I said, because honestly, you only just wanted me around for your, to be your, what's the name they have for people? Okay, if it's not, if a woman has a name for a boy or a dude, that says their boy toy. I told him, you only wanted me around to be your friend with benefits. And and I wasn't interested in you. I didn't say it like that at the time. I said, at the time, I didn't know what I wanted. I said, because I was already in a domestic violence relationship where a dude was putting his hands on me, was beating me up. And then when I would leave my apartment to go to my grandma's house to be over there, to get away from what was going on where I lived at, then you was always on your porch looking at me, or I come over there where you at, and we're secretly talking and stuff. I'm like, it was no sense in me trying to still be with you, and we couldn't be with each other out in the open like that. It was a secret. But yeah, this dude was 50 years old, but he definitely didn't dress or act like he was 50. He pretty much was like one of those 50-year-old dudes who had swag. He drove a nice, expensive car. He wore nice clothes. He wore name brand shoes. He was lit. He was the shit. But he just didn't know how to treat women. And I never wanted a full relationship with him because, I've seen him. I would sit on the porch with my grandma at the time when she was living, and I would see him bring a woman, women after women. One woman this month, and then a woman next month, and a woman after that. But, honestly, I was only having dealings with him because, like I said at the time, I was already involved with someone who was putting his hands on me, fighting me, and bullying me in my own house. But I tried to get him to understand that. I'm like, you may have got attached to me, and you may have thought that I, wanted to do more with you and be your girlfriend, but I never wanted that. I never wanted that with you. I was just having fun, basically. And I know there's something cruel that a person should tell a person, whether it's a dude telling a girl that, but I know it probably hurt even more me telling him that, and the fact that he was 50 years old and I was 28 at the time. Was what it was. But yeah, that was my experience being with a 50-year-old man. I had one more story time I needed to do about my stomach growling. I had one more story. I might do that one tonight. All these stories about my stomach growling in public is hilarious. Extremely hilarious, especially when I'm trying to cough or ball up some paper to try to get the attention off of me that it was my stomach that was making those noises. But yeah, I will come back later with another video. Until then, y'all stay blessed.